What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another epicseven Analyze video, and since we don't have an actual new character to pull for this week, we have a new specialty change. So instead of doing should you pull as my normal second video of the day on Wednesday, we're going to be should you build this unit with your energy. And by with your energy, I mean obviously we have a specialty change 3-star character, so the energy investment to not only perform the specialty change, but as well as getting all the ruins for Rikoris is quite an enormous, I guess, feat. So basically, you guys are going to have to invest quite a lot of energy, sky stones, leaves, whatever you guys are going to do, or if you're going to do it over many, many months, to complete his specialty change by 100%ing his skill tree and unlocking him. So let's go into first what he was before, go over what his pros and cons were, and then we'll go over his upgrade of his skill 3. So first of all, let's go to Quick Pierce. So Quick Pierce is very similar to a lot of units that have a turn 1 deck break, which will go to a 50% chance. Guard has this, Clarissa has this, so you have to plus 5 him, actually. I think Clarissa and Guard were only like +3 or +4, so you do have more of a Molagora investment to get his percentage to 50%. So that is going to cost you a total of 10 regular Molagoras and 1 red Molagora. So if you're completely going off of green Molagoras and you don't have any red ones you got from events or Abyss, then you're going to need a total of 14 Molagoras in order to completely skill 1 him. But, you know, if you are thinking of going in on him, whether you're going to be using him for PvP and Guild War, or possibly you need him for Dark Corvus, possibly on Abyss 85, or any other kind of content that's, or probably the new hunt, he's going to be very, very useful for due to his skill tree extra damage. So, but you're going to have a lot of Molagora saved up, though. That's the unfortunate thing. Then let's go on to his skill 2. His skill 2 is going to be all allies get a decrease of 1 cooldown and then also increase speed for 2 turns. So him comboing very, very well, similar to Asaria with a Tamarine. If Tamarine is going to be useful for the hunt, hopefully the new hunt's not going to have a, you know, astronomically bad effect if you don't bring all light units, because 99%, probably 90% of the population don't have a good caliber of 4 light units. I myself only have Guider Aether, so when it comes to PvE content. So anyway, but yeah, you will need a total of 2 regular Molagoras and 1 red Molagora to get its cooldown, which I highly recommend since that is a 6-turn cooldown. So you definitely are going to want to bring that down to 5 to make that a little bit more manageable. So I would definitely invest there. Probably you want to get this skill done first before his Death Break. You probably could get away with not doing his Death Break if you really have another Death Breaker on your team. So like if you're bringing like Luna for a lot of his content, you're bringing him on, and you could get away with not having it. You know, it's possible. But I would definitely get this as like the #1 priority for sure here. Is getting his S2 cooldown. So, but that is pretty cool. He does get an additional soul, so that's pretty good. So then here we have Flash Cut, and this is the ability that upgraded. So it's going to attack all enemies with a shockwave with a 75% chance to dispel 1 buff. So that part stayed the same. So when you skill enhance it, it is going to go to 100%. And then I believe the other change, let's go to the patch notes real fast, and we'll go over real quick. So the change of his skill 3 is it gets the whole debuff at 100% if you skill up him, and then also it's going to stun the enemy with the highest skill. I would assume when it means highest skill, like the enemy that's the highest in their cooldown phase, meaning like, okay, so if you're fighting an enemy and they're about to use their S3 to equivalent, I would assume it's going to go to the stun there. Keep in mind, this ability, second part for the stun, is going to be useless against bosses. So this is going to primarily be used for PvP and Guild War. So that would mean, I don't know how that's going to calculate in Guild War and PvP though, because at the start everyone's going to have their cooldowns. So maybe it's going to apply to the character that has the highest skill ups, maybe, or it could apply to the character that has the highest turn count, maybe. So like if you're fighting against a Tamarine, it would affect the Tamarine, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of how they are going to do that. Hopefully we'll be able to find out later today exactly, once people see him in the journal, exactly what that's going to apply to, and it'll be more clear you know, definition and explanation on his skill 3. And then he is as well as going to revive the caster's health. So that's what his skill 3 is going to do. If we go back to the epicseven, we're going to see here that you are going to have to skill enhance him to +6. So that's going to require 1 red Molagora, and then it's going to require 13 regular Molagoras. So you're looking at a total, if you want to completely get this guy to where you want to be, you can skip on the last 2 of damage dealt. But you're looking at, what is that, like something like 20-something Molagoras. It's going to be crazy. And this is on a 3-star, keep in mind. So that is a crazy amount of investment for him. So if you guys that did recall your Rikoris, rip the dream, I guess, if you are going to plan to use him down the road. But anyway, that's why probably you may want to hold off on like recalling units until they have specialty changes, and then you can determine from there if like now a lot of people don't need their Lorinas, and she's already been specially changed, so the likelihood that she's going to get another buff is very slim. So like if they ever did add a recall to Lorina, that would be like a prime example of a unit you could recall. But that's a whole different kind of note that we're not going to really get into too much. But okay. So obviously, where is he used for? So obviously, he has an AoE 1 strip, so he gets rid of 1 buff. So as long as the other enemies don't have a massive amount of buffs, that's very good. So he can be very, very good for PvP when we get into the immunity meta. So now we know immunity is going to be farmable in hunts. So if you're playing against like an all-tank team, you could assume a lot of them are going to have immunity gear. So the fact that he could strip that immunity gear and then you can go into your death breaks for other units, he's going to be very, very versatile in PvP. Then when we get into his skill tree, and then also he has that chance to, when it goes to 100%, you're going to be able to stun 1 enemy as well. So that's going to be very, very good as well. Not only stripping the buffs away, but then hopefully taking out one of the problematic units. The chance that so it's going to completely depend on how they prioritize which one he targets, and that's going to see how good that is going to match up in PvP and Guild War. So now let's go into this. So in his skill tree, he's going to get 10% health, 10% defense, which is good on him because he's a support unit. The 10% effectiveness is very good, and hit chance is good as well. So that's all good because he's a support unit that's also a debuffer. So that's very, very good. His skill 3 is going to get a 5% damage increase. And then the spear healing is going to go up to 200% in healing. That's actually insane. So that is very, very good. The damage increases by 20% when attacking a Dark Elemental target. That's just straight up when you're attacking the Dark Elemental, which I would only bring him in for Dark Elemental fights, to be honest. Unless you're really trying to do like a Tamarine combo with him, with his S2, then you could potentially do that as well. But that extra 20% damage is going to be absolutely huge. And then he has a 30% chance to inflict additional damage with Quick Pierce when attacking a Dark Elemental unit as well. So in his other ability as well, his S1 is going to get 30% more attack. Or I'm sorry, it has 30% chance to... Oh, okay, it doesn't say damage dealt. It just says it's proportional to the caster's attack. So you have a 30% chance to do additional damage with his S1. So it's not a guarantee. So definitely, if you're prioritizing in the skill tree, you're probably going to definitely want to go for the S3 damage upgrade first, because that's a guarantee 20% on Dark Elemental characters, as opposed to this is a 30% chance to do that. And then he has a 100% chance to dispel a debuff when his health is low at 20%. So, like I said, that can be useful in certain situations, but it's not very reliable. You know, it's not a reliable potion vial. And then he increases attack and defense by 20% when the caster is below 50%. So again, he's showing the whole, you know, he has that kind of like last-ditch effort sort of mechanic where when he's low health, he's going to apply more things to you. So overall, where would you use him? Like I said, the hunts, we're going to have to see how that pans out, what the mechanics are. Are you going to be able to use non-light teams, or is he going to be very, very good? Obviously, he's going to be very, very good regardless because he's going to deal extra damage. He's going to be type effective against them. And, you know, just overall, he's pretty good utility. I wouldn't say he's, like, supreme utility, like, at the level of Falcon or Cleary or even Charles, because he only gets rid of 1 buff. So if, like, your enemies have tons and tons of buffs, then he's not going to be as useful, but he's still going to be good overall. He has self-healing on his S3, and then obviously his S2 is still very, very good with speed increase and cooldown decrease. So that's very, very good overall. So I'm thinking right now, you probably bring him for the new hunts. You're probably going to bring him, you're probably swapping him in and out for a lot of PvP and Guild War matches, depending if you're fighting a lot of Dark Moonlight characters. So, like, he's going to slay ML Kens, he's going to slay, your Shadow Roses, he's going to slay Fat Cats, things like that. So he's going to be good. So it all really depends on, like, you'd have to have a lot of resources. Like I said, I think at minimum you need to have at least the 1 red Mulagora and then the two green Mulagoras to get at least his S2 cooldown. And then you can kind of prioritize from there your box and see, like, how important is this S1 and S3 to me. Like I said, you could still get by with a 75% chance to debuff is still pretty high. And he has a built-in 10% effectiveness on his skill tree, so getting him to like 65 to 70% effectiveness is probably going to be pretty easy, so it's not going to be too terribly difficult. So I would say, like, if you're mid to end game and your goal right now is PvP and Guild War, I would say he's very, very good. Or if your goal is to farm the new hunt, like, religiously, if that's going to be like your new Wyvern, air quotes, then I would say, yeah, he's probably worth building. Just keep in mind, the only good thing about this is, like, when it comes to the ruins, is that you guys actually got a decent amount of light ruins from Abyss. If you guys were able to clear, I think it was 86 and 87, whichever one was light. I want to say light was first, so I want to say it was 86. So if you guys were able to clear that, then, good stuff, guys. You guys were able to get that done. So, but anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think of Rikoris in the comment section down below. Like I said, he's not, like, super selective, but he is a selective unit for certain types of content where he's not, like, a universal, useful unit like Falcon or Clury is. So, but he still has his uses, and he will be very, very good in that certain content. So, let me know what you guys think of his specialty change overall in the comment section down below. If you guys think it's good, bad, indifferent, I want to hear all your comment sections, and let me know what places you guys would use them if you guys have them. I myself don't have them. I am going to be doing my 10 Moonlight summons today on stream right after the patch, so maybe we will pull him. Hopefully we have some better luck than last time we did a 10 Moonlight stream with only 2 4-stars. So I'm hoping we could pull our first Nat 5 Moonlight. That'd be awesome. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for checking out the video and supporting the channel as always. If you guys are new, hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up as well, and we'll see you guys in the next Epic 7 video. Peace out, guys.